Hi everyone, it's Andy LaCivita, founder of Mile Walk and the Mile Walk Academy and award-winning author of The Hiring Prophecies, here with this week's episode of Tips for Work and Life. I've got a really fun one today. It's about boss hunting, and boss hunting with a cover letter that makes hearts melt. I know it because I wrote the cover letters that I would want to receive. So let's talk a little bit about this. This episode is really about elevating your awareness. That's the most important thing, that there is another way to approach your job search. And when I wrote it, I had four types of people in mind. Maybe you're just stuck. Maybe you're just stuck in your job search. You're not getting anywhere. You're sending your resume out, you're doing some networking, you just can't get it into the right spot. Maybe you got gatekeepers, or your resume's falling into the applicant tracking system abyss. So this is for you. It's also for people who just simply want to add another tool into their arsenal of job searching. It's a really effective one, and I'll share a little bit about why. It's also for people who just want to expand their network. You can use the same tactic and even the same language, almost verbatim, that I put into these cover letters. And then also, it's people who want to look for some alternate ways to frame their work experience through these cover letters. I've got a couple of them in there. I'll tell you about those in a few minutes. Now, before we get into the boss hunting and what that is, the first thing is you shouldn't just start reaching out to people that you don't know in hopes that they might be able to get you into a company or a job that you might like. I always promote that you really figure out yourself first, and you make sure that you are directed in your search, and that you are targeting companies, and you are targeting roles, and you're targeting careers that are good for you. And I've written a lot about this on my blog. You can check it out. There's podcasts, there's videos. But one thing that I have, gratuitous plug here for a free online workshop that I have coming up on October 27th, I have a 3-part video series titled Transform Your Career, Mastering the 3 Personal Drives that Lead to Career Fulfillment. This workshop is a self-paced, it's a 3-part video series. You can do it on your own. It starts on the 27th and is all about figuring out and making sure you're positioned to succeed in your career. It's a great place to start. That's number one. Second thing is, just make sure you are targeting companies and the right types of organizations for you. I wrote all about this in How to Target the Best Companies in Your Job Search. So I'd like to assume that before we start boss hunting or doing any of these very role-specific searches for you, that you are directed, you are not directionally challenged, you're going in the right place for yourself. You have a thoughtful, overarching approach to your job search. So once you get to that point and you start to send out those resumes and cover letters, we can add boss hunting to the dimension. Now, this is really about targeting a human being instead of fighting with a robotic ATS. The goal of boss hunting is to target a person with a very thoughtful message. You really want to just simply expand the number of touch points that you have out in the world, and this is a great way to do that. So I'm not going to go into the tactics about finding who the boss is in a particular area. There are different ways for you to navigate through Google and LinkedIn to figure out if you are targeting the right companies and you are targeting some roles perhaps that you know. You should be able to do some research to see who might be an authority figure in that area. That's also a great point. You don't need to target who specifically is responsible for the role. Any head honcho or authority figure in that area will do it. It isn't about you getting a bullseye to the boss. It is just about finding somebody whose background you admire, who you suspect has some responsibility for an area that you think you would be a good fit for, whether they have an open role or whether they don't have an open role. So it's really just about increasing your chances by adding this other dimension. Now, one of the other things is, if you're not sure exactly how to approach these people, I've written 2 cover letters. One cover letter is really aimed at those situations where you know a role exists and you can point to a role at an organization, you found it, or you found it on LinkedIn, you found it on some job board, or you found it through word of mouth, whatever it might be, to where you can make reference to that role. And then I also wrote you another one where if you don't know if there exists a role, but you like the organization, maybe through your evaluation of how to target those best companies, you've found some individuals that work at the company and you think you've found an authority figure in the area that you would like to pursue or at least investigate, I have some language in the download, in the cover letter download, that talks about approaching it from that perspective, even if there is not an existing opening. So take a look at both of those. You can download those. They're free. And if you're wondering why this tactic works, think about pointing and selecting somebody and telling them you're a not-so-secret admirer and that you can add value by supporting them. That is gonna hit home a lot more so than having some HR specialists swipe through yours and 299 other resumes through their applicant tracking system. So it's really about personalizing your message. I wrote about this in Interview Intervention. You can download that for free, skip right to page 39, and I tell you exactly why this works in detail. But I really wanted to toss this out there just so that you understand that this is a great possibility for you. And now the world is making it easier for you to discover bosses and authority figures in organizations. Virtually everybody has a LinkedIn profile anymore. So really just get out there, try to do a little creative research. If you're really stuck and I've skipped over some parts, you're really not sure how to do it, that's what the comment section are for. That's what the comment section's for. So just write me, ask me whatever questions that you want. So right now, download those cover letters. Keep an eye out for that workshop on October 27th. It's going to be great. I'm also going to be doing some live videos or live interactions in between where you can ask me questions live. And you'll see the recordings if you want, if you sign up for it. And then the other thing is, please share this. If you find this helpful, circulate it to anybody you think might benefit. Always appreciate that. Until next week, we'll see you. Have a good one.